Hey, what's up, healthcare digital marketing? It is Tuesday night, and you know what that means. It is Tuesday Night Fever. I'm Dr. Alex Sengar. I am here to talk to you guys about procrastination. And I just feel so deeply about this because I suffer with procrastinationitis. Um, is that a thing? An increase in procrastination. Cody, what's happening, man? Eugene, good to see y'all on here. So, procrastination, how do we get over this? And how does this even remotely relate to digital marketing and growing your business? Well, I'm telling you, if you're not where you want to be at in life right now, there's two things at play. Number one, it's procrastination. It's you not doing what you should be when you should be doing it. But the second thing is clarity. And I want to talk tonight about how to beat procrastination by getting clarity about what you're supposed to do. Paul, good to see you. Farley, Luann, Sunny, Kimmy, thanks y'all for coming on here. If you're on here, just say live. Eugene, thanks so much. There's a pill for it. Is there a pill for it? I love it. But what I want to say is, Amy, good to see you on here. What I want to say is I've been sitting here thinking about how we've grown our business and the digital marketing side of things, where we've put out campaigns, we've put together programs, we've launched stuff online. And for some reason, it's still always hard to do the work. And I don't know if you're like me, where you have grand visions, you know where you want to take things, but there's always this feeling of like, I could probably do that later today. Has anyone felt that? Like, is that a thing for you, where you even might write down everything that you need to do for the day and you just keep pushing it off? It's like, yeah, I'll get to that. I'll get to that. Oh, but I want to check this little thing, or I want to do this thing. Why is it so freaking hard to do the thing that we actually know we need to do, but we'll do a million other things instead before we do it? I don't honestly have the answer to that, but I do have an answer that has worked for me to start overcoming procrastination. And this is something that has been really, really, really strong in my life lately. And at some point I'll share more about that. But today I just finished, this caps off, I'm finishing the 8-hour mark, 8 hours straight of calls for the day. Coaching calls for our Ignition program, our online business Ignition. Had 2 hours of group coaching that we just did. And now the last 10 minutes here will be 8 hours straight of live streaming. I've been staring at the screen way too long. Just sitting here thinking about, okay, how do we get to this point? Because right now we're really busy. It's a great thing, like amazing thing. I don't know if we've ever been so busy in our business. Comes with its own problems, but I'm so grateful for it because we haven't procrastinated lately. We've gotten a lot of crap done. So how have we gotten to it? I want to share that the biggest key to success, at least for me, and I'm guessing for you, is getting really clear on what your end result is, reverse engineering it, and really getting clear on what is the next step to get there. You need to put blinders on if you're going to be successful, because there's going to be a million shiny things that pop up. There's going to be lots of other people's problems that are going to seem urgent at the time. But you've got to have, what is the end destination in mind? And why do I want it? We all know about that. Find your why, all that stuff. Simon Sinek, go read his book, Start with Why if you haven't yet. But as I have gotten really clear on what my end goal is, and then I have quantified what will it take for me to get to that end goal, to the level of specificity of, okay, this is our income goal for the year. If this is our income goal for the year, monthly, what do I need to make? Great. Where do I find that? Where do we create that? Okay, how do people fit into which programs? How many people do we need to have? Because if at the end of the day, my goal is to create a business that sustains my family more than just my basic needs, but allows me to do well financially to the point where I can feel like I'm fulfilled, both from a time and an income standpoint and an impact standpoint. If I know that that's where I want to get to, what's it going to take to get there? So now we've reverse engineered it. Now we have clear goals. Now I know exactly what it is that I want, and I know what products, what things it's going to take to get there. Well, then suddenly my next step becomes really clear. And it's not this idea of like, I've got no clue. There's just so much to do. And what do I do? I'll go do this thing, and then I'll go do that thing, and then I'll go do that thing. And because I don't have clarity, I don't take a step. I just keep taking random steps in random directions, and I'm never making clear progress towards anything meaningful in my life. Can't have that. There's comments coming in here. Kimmy says that she came in live. Paul says we're on fire. Brianne says commenting so I can come back to see this. Trying not to procrastinate on going to bed right now. Go to bed. Thanks, Daryl. I appreciate it. Karen says she's alive. I love it. Andrew Tran says he's live. Thank you, man. Reverse engineer your process. I recently reverse engineered something that I wanted in my relationship with my family, with my wife. Said, if that's what I want for my family, what is it going to take to get there? Reverse engineered it. Okay, I'm going to need that, and that in place. What is my next step so that I can start towards that? And then very key is, what are the habits that I'm going to need to have in place to continue on the path to getting there? Because the motivation that you have right now of getting the clarity, of reverse engineering it, of feeling like you know what the next step is, the motivation is going to take you about 3 days into the process. And by the 3-week mark, motivation's absolutely decimated. And then we fall back into what? Habits. So I would just highly recommend, if you're sitting here feeling like you procrastinate, it's more about the lack of clarity right now. I would venture to say, do you know where you're going? Do you know what it takes to get there? What's the next step? Take the next freaking step, and don't do it tomorrow. Go just take care of it. Do it today. As I've gotten clear on that and I have written it down, I've just found that I get so much more motivation to do it. I get so much more meaning out of when I'm planning a day. And it boggles my mind, but as I talk to people, I realize not a lot of people write very many things down. And as I've gotten further and further into business and life, I get really reliant on, or I have become really reliant on journaling. I would love to know, are you someone who journals? Like, is that a thing for you? I would just put it in the comments below. I'm really curious. Just say yes or no. Do you journal? Do you not journal? I've been doing it a lot lately. And since I started doing it, I've gained a lot of insight into how I think, into why I do things, into what I want. And the really interesting thing is, as I'm paying attention to what inspiration I have as to the action that I should be taking, and I write that down, as I go back and look at that journal, the same things keep coming up over and over. And that tells me a couple things. It tells me, one, I need to do that thing because it keeps coming up. It keeps being important. What's up, Drew? Good to see you, man. Thanks for the love, brother. One, it tells me that I need to do that thing because it keeps coming up. Number two, it tells me I probably haven't done that thing since it keeps coming up. And I believe that you're not going to receive further light and inspiration as to what you should do until you do the thing that you've already received inspiration on. But I also believe that if you aren't willing to write it down, you're not serious about remembering and taking action on something. So I've gotten a lot more dedicated to writing things down, to sitting down, taking quiet time at the beginning of the day. And I'm a spiritual person. I believe in God. I believe that He wants me to succeed. And so I believe that He knows where I need to go. And I believe that He is willing to tell me what steps I need to take to get there. And so as I've been more diligent with that, I've gotten a lot of direction lately. And as I've been willing to be not only open to asking the question of what do I need to do, then sitting down and writing it, cementing the fact that I'm listening, I hear it, and then I make a plan to do it and pray for the freaking strength to make it happen, that strength has come. So if there's something in life right now that you want to accomplish, whether it's in your business, with your family, personally, I would invite you to sit down tomorrow. If you're listening to this during the day, then sit down today and open yourself up to asking. If you're not the praying type, then meditate it. If you are, then go pray and figure out what is it that you need to do right now. take a minute and actually listen. Write down the direction that you receive. Make a plan to act on it, and then go do it and check back in with yourself. Accountability is huge in this. And I don't know who you're accountable to, but I would ask you, do you know who you're accountable to other than yourself? We got a bunch of comments coming in. Amy says, used to, need to start doing it again. Karen says no. Daryl says yes with the high performance habit planner. Yeah, man, I got mine somewhere around here. I don't know where mine is now. David Bailiff says, stop procrastinating. Is this episode directed at me? No, David Bailiff, but we had a freaking amazing talk today. So I have been inspired by you, though, today. Drew, thank you, brother. Eugene says, every book that I read says, write it down. Yeah, man, just write it down. Karen says, amen. I just find that for me, business, personal, family success, for me, comes down to spiritual success. Now, whether you're a spiritual person or not, if you're not, then I would say it means, what do you feel like you should be doing in life versus what are you doing? Is there dissonance in how you feel like you're living? Address it. I'm not just talking like spiritually. Go address it physically. Go make it happen. Are you running your business the way you feel like you should run it? Are you treating your clients the way you feel like they should be treated? Are you treating your spouse or your kids the way that you feel like they should be treated? Are you waiting for a time when you'll have more time to make that happen? I think that one of the greatest gifts that I've given myself, that you can give yourself, is the realization of how finite time is. I've been doing a lot of introspection lately. You guys can tell I've been in a very introspective mood. This is not our normal Tuesday night fever topic. I get it. We're going personal development, but I've been really focused on that lately because I think that that's at the core of your success in your marketing efforts, in your business efforts, in your life efforts. And as I've sat down to think about what will my life look like at the end of my life, how would I feel about my efforts up to this point if I keeled over today? How would I feel about things? When I started getting serious about that over the past few weeks especially, I realized that I wasn't satisfied. Dissonance. Realized that there was dissonance. And the procrastination of, yeah, I'll take care of it later, occurred because of this. The pain of staying where I was at, the pain of not doing anything, was less than the pain of making a change. Because we always default to taking the action that results in less pain. Doing the darn notes after an eval. Writing the email to send to our list. Sending the voice message to a potential client, to an existing client. All those things induce pain. And we're never going to take the action that involves more pain. And so we need to look at, where is this going to lead? If I do or do not do this thing, what's that going to mean for me? And when we get clear on the fact that doing nothing is just as much of a choice as doing something, and we look at what is the future pain of me not doing this thing, and if we can internalize that the pain of not doing it is greater than the pain of doing it, then we can overcome that and do the darn thing. We got a lot of comments rolling in. Drew says, haha, funny, actually, I'm accountable to you, Alex. Yeah, man. We got to check in too, buddy. Alex, thank you for tagging people. Will says, such a great reminder. Thank you, dude. Eugene says it's deep. Katie says, needing to hear this. Thank you, Katie. I'm glad. Katie is a real deep communicator, and a lot of people need you, Katie, and what you have to offer people. Russ, thank you. Appreciate you, man. Russ is my amazing virtual assistant who I haven't contacted very much lately and has just been quietly doing all the work that I've asked of him in the background. And my goodness, I appreciate that. Because there are always going to be people in your life that just do the thing and help out quietly and never ask for the praise. Russ is one of those people for me. I really appreciate you, man. So last thought here is, Do you feel the pain of inaction right now in your life? If you don't, if you know you should be doing something, but you're not, I want you to follow that path out. Where will I end up if I keep doing this thing or keep not doing this thing? Let yourself feel that pain. Because I can tell you, it's far better to feel that pain now and to cause it to let you act than to go down the easy route, get to the end of the road, and feel the actual pain of not having done the thing that you know you should have. This has been Tuesday Night Fever. It's an introspective one. As a recap, we covered go figure out what it is that you want, reverse engineer the process to get there, and take the next step today. Get clear on the idea that you need to be accountable to someone other than yourself. And realize that the pain of not acting is going to be greater than the pain of taking the action towards the thing that you want. Let that push you towards starting something new. Maybe it's a new business. Maybe it's a new relationship. Maybe it's doing something that's really scary, that has pain associated with it. Maybe it's repairing a relationship that you've got that you got to get fixed. I love this stuff. Thank you guys for bearing with me on what is otherwise a very techie evening, but I just feel like this is so important to your success. It has been to mine. And if we just do the thing, we take that first step, even though the next steps might be really muddy and we might have no clue what steps 8 through 35 are. We've got to take step 1 today. And then the next step becomes a little bit more clear. And then the one after that, and then the one after that. But it's far better to start taking that journey and know where the road would lead you than to never take a step down that path that you really want to end up at. And feeling like, I don't know because I never tried. It's far better to go down a path and realize that, okay, maybe this wasn't the right one, than to never go down it and live with that regret. I just love you guys. Thanks for listening tonight. A bunch of comments coming in. Drew says, thanks for the truth. Thank you, brother. Eugene says, check out Roger Dawson Advanced Course in Personal Achievement. Okay, I'm going to do that. Andrea says, can't wait to go back and catch all this on replay. Hey, thank you, Andrea. Appreciate you. Elisa says, thank you for reminding us. Yep, Lisa and I had a great call today. Such a rock star. Elisa, I can't wait for dancers to start finding out about you online. Guys, this has been Tuesday Night Fever. If you liked it, I would just love to hear what's the action that you feel like you should take as a result of what you just listened to. If you're on the live stream, I want you to write it down. We just talked about the importance of listening, of recording, revisiting. I want you to record right now in the Facebook comments because this is the easiest place to do it, and then go write it down somewhere else legitimately. What is the action that you feel like you should take as a result? If it's personal, that's fine. If you want to private message me that, totally fine with that too. What is the action that you want to take as a result of what you feel like you want to end up doing? I'd love to hear that below, whether you're on the replay or live. Would mean a lot to hear because this is a really important topic to me, guys. And I'll share more about that in coming weeks. But love you guys. Go have a great night. Make stuff happen for yourself. Remember where you want to go. Reverse engineer the process. Take the first step today. Go make it happen. See you guys.